Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Do not forget to follow me on social media. There are links in the description below the video in the little box when you scroll on down. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. This is seemingly never ending at this point. I do not foresee a point in the relative near future where this is actually going to end. Mathematically, at some point it has to, but until then, we're all, I guess, basically along for the ride. As I've been going over for the past few weeks now, expectations remain high for the remainder of quarter three and for basically all, as far as we can tell, of quarter four. People talking about prices, where things are going to go. At the same exact time, still having a never-ending stream of companies who are announcing their newly formed love and or interest for the cryptocurrency market. All once again seemingly out of nowhere, but it appears to be because of inflation and economic policies that do not seem to be getting any better. This one is, I believe, from a brand new company. There's also some other names that I completely did not recognize here, and I guess it makes sense if it's happening all around the world. This is a company called Sora Ventures, S-O-R-A Ventures. I assume you can't begin to imagine what they've just announced or what they plan on doing. It's fairly simple, though, because they're like company number 300 at this point. And this is what when I say it, I really do mean it. Like, I wonder like what the crescendo will be. How is it possible that we can keep having all of these companies announcing daily in many different intervals, and we're still below $500,000? Like, it just logically doesn't make any sense. But at some point, I guess the market will react properly. It says Sora Ventures has unveiled a $1 billion 6-month Bitcoin treasury plan in Asia. If you saw as well, it made headlines because of its different geographical location. We've had more than a few as of late Japanese companies announcing that they're also creating some kind of a Bitcoin reserve, but they ended up being in the news quite popularly simply because they were in Asia. And then we also had a few, I think, in Europe recently as well. It's an interesting form of reality when people get surprised that people in other parts of the world are doing the exact same thing that they're also doing. I find that to be a funny part of society, that people forget that money exists around the world. Do you remember years ago when Ripple, the company, was being heavily shunned by banks in the US and by the US SEC? And I was like, go somewhere else. And then Ripple literally went through Asia and Africa. And they were like, they found success in business there. And a lot of the news stories, geez Louise, a lot of the news stories at the time were like, it doesn't make any sense, but Ripple's succeeding. We don't understand how they're doing it without the US SEC. And I was like, well, other places, they give regulation. They see this company saying, hey, we can make you guys $1 billion extra per year in revenue and this and that. And, they're not going to get shunned. So anyway, the firm Sora Ventures announced the plan at Taipei Blockchain Week. Backers have reportedly committed $200 million to start right now. Essentially, in a weird twist of stuff because we've never heard this before, the goal is to buy Bitcoin. What? That's insane. Over a defined window. The effort is pitched as Asia's first fund of its kind. Probably not, unless it really differentiates itself in some sort of way. Other companies are doing the exact same thing. There was a discussion as to how companies were basically trying to explicitly follow what MicroStrategy has been doing. MicroStrategy being the original gobbler of coins. Basically, they just simply buy and hold. We don't know if they have other activities, what they might be doing, but as far as we've been told, they're basically just buying the Bitcoin, looking at it, that kind of thing. Other companies have also announced that they're going to be buying Bitcoin, but they're also going to be creating, derivatives or other types of securitized products that deal with the Bitcoin through their company. And the money that they make from said products will then be used to buy more Bitcoin. Surprising, right? So unless this is like really structured entirely, completely, we've heard of about 17 other companies in Asia, in Japan, who have already done the exact same thing, unless this is just going to be something entirely different. The initiative is designed as a central pool of institutional capital. It differs from companies that hold Bitcoin on their own books. Yeah, got it. Everyone's trying to do something different here. The pool intends to support existing treasuries and seed new ones. The aim, the press release notes, is to link global efforts. The strategy focuses on scale and coordination. The plan includes recruiting new institutional partners to broaden resources, targeting a wider network of treasury firms in Asia. Sora Ventures points to prior moves in the region, Metaplanet in Japan. These I've never heard of. This is what I was talking about earlier, and it's weird, going over news every single day. Have not heard about any of these companies. Apparently, Moon Inc., like the Moon Inc. in Hong Kong is doing the exact same thing. Never heard of them. A company called DV8 in Thailand. Okay, why not? Something called BitPlanet in South Korea are also cited as peers. The fund plans to back and replicate such models. I assume this seems more pooly than anything, and basically a bunch of rich people. It also doesn't, I get it, but there has to be something else that we're simply not hearing about. I understand pooling your money together to get something, but that something has to do something to make the investors money. It makes no sense if you have 75 people who are all going to be committing $20 million into a pool. Well, they could have just bought $20 million worth of Bitcoin themselves. There's no real need to pool it together and then have one company say, look, we have a lot of Bitcoin. It doesn't really work out. So cool. We'll see what ends up happening, as we always do. A lot of these companies end up being back in the news quite quickly about their endeavors and their efforts and how much more Bitcoin that they actually ended up purchasing. But unless we hear that they're planning on trading this Bitcoin, through crypto markets to try and make more Bitcoin, or that they plan on staking this. This is a really weird fund, and I don't really understand the point of just pooling money together. Like, it makes sense if you're trying to pool your money together to buy land or to buy real estate. That real estate will produce income that you can then sprinkle on the actual investors. Bitcoin doesn't do any of these things yet. So yeah, that's what are they called? Sora Ventures. Fantastic. Love seeing all the Bitcoin disappearing from the hands of normal people. That's always been quite fun. Okay. Let's move on. Also in Not quite. I understand the enthusiasm behind this news or any other news that might be relatively similar. But there's always a really weird disconnect between actual reality and what's actually taking place. So as Bitcoin became more and more popular around 2017, 2018, that's a very accurate time frame, we started having a lot of companies enter the space, not announcing that they themselves were going to be buying Bitcoin or that they were going to be investing in it. These companies began to announce, if you want to buy a new cheese grater, you can pay in Bitcoin. If you want to do this, you can pay in Bitcoin. It had nothing to do, rather, it was given to us as, look at crypto adoption soaring, all the things you can do, isn't it fantastic? What it actually was is these companies didn't, as far as we knew, have any intention of actually buying Bitcoin. Their entire thing is that they simply wanted Bitcoin, but they wanted a go-around, and we were the go-around. Why would I buy it if I can sell people socks or a cheese grater and then they give me Bitcoin instead for this product that I paid 15 cents for from China? So we started having a lot of other companies, and part of the crescendo was Tesla, if you don't remember, for those of you who weren't here. And I always love stuff like this because it always comes back up in the news, or I end up mentioning it and then I look at the comments and people get really upset at a lot of things because they think I'm lying to them or they think I have some kind of an ulterior motive or an agenda. Remember a couple of months ago when I told you that no one wanted AI except for the companies who were pushing out AI, and there's going to be an AI bubble and we're going to see it pop? Have any of you been reading the news recently? So basically, what happened with Tesla, for those who don't want to remember, is that they announced that they were going to be accepting Bitcoin, not because they loved or appreciated or adored Bitcoin, it's because they wanted it. And they assume often, if you look at documentaries where people talk about accepting crypto or whatever, they assume that crypto investors are incredibly wealthy, and many of them are. And they assume that these people are usually idiots. Okay. And then therefore that they can kind of get this money from them because they are new money. And the term, for those of you who don't know it, is called they have a hole in their pocket. I was always told that when I was a kid. I would get my allowance and then immediately I would buy Pokemon cards or video games. It's called having a hole in your pocket, or it's burning a hole in your pocket. Basically, like it's like the money really wants to leave. Like you're looking for a way to like get rid of it as quick as possible. So the generalized, still now, I travel, I meet people, and a lot of people don't know I'm in crypto because it's not, why should they? Why would I, people don't have to know what you do or what you invest in. A lot of people, I hear them talking about like their methods in hotels or other places to get people who invest in crypto, because they know that these people have a lot of money. And the generalized idea is, especially during bull runs, buy this, buy this, buy this, because it's a clever way to basically get the money from them. So anyway, back directly on, also, I forgot the Tesla thing. Right, so the whole Tesla thing was that basically they announced that they wanted people to buy, buy Teslas with Bitcoin. And then remember when Elon Musk told everyone, like, he was like, no, like, we're not accepting it anymore because Bitcoin, what's a good lie? Bitcoin isn't green enough. Yeah, he said years ago that Bitcoin's mining wasn't green enough for him. The actual reason was that there wasn't one sale with Bitcoin. Surprising, right? Yeah, because, So in the news now, this was touted as major, awesome, acceptance, can't believe it, oh my gosh, this is so amazing kind of news. But we've gotten this before and people also don't want to do this either. Buenos Aires is in the news. Apparently they're announcing that they're going full steam ahead with accepting cryptocurrencies, but it's also as ridiculous as you might imagine. Crypto adoption is now also moving at a municipal level. with cities adopting a crypto-friendly stance. The city of Buenos Aires recently announced a series of measures aimed at becoming a worldwide leader in cryptocurrency adoption, given the high levels of crypto natives living there. According to city figures, more than 10,000 residents receive payments in crypto, demonstrating a high level of adoption of these technologies. Buenos Aires Crypto is going to be called BA Crypto, as a new program is called will allow people to pay taxes, including housing taxes and permit fees, driver's licenses, and traffic fines in crypto. Are you understanding? Yeah, this is it's not the first time this has happened, and this is how you can always tell brand new people in the cryptocurrency space. A lot of websites were reporting this as Buenos Aires being the first place on the planet to do something like this. It's a brand new initiative, and they're showing exactly how crypto friendly they are. Not quite, my friend. There have been a dozen plus other governments over the last 7-8 years who have done the exact same thing. Remember I told you about the cheese grater and the socks and the Tesla and stuff like that? This has nothing to do with adoption. This has nothing to do with anything else except for the government realizing that they themselves do not want to spend money to accumulate Bitcoin. So what's another way of getting it out of people? You announce that the taxes that you already have to pay, the parking permit fees and the driver's licenses that you have to get anyway, and that you're going to incur, will also now, you can also pay for them in crypto. Because we've had other places, but I forgot what other place it was, another city or something, who announced this years ago. And then a while later, they announced that after all this, they made X amount of money in Bitcoin. And then there was something else years later about how much money that Bitcoin was now worth because of its rising price. No, pay them in fiat, pay them in the thing that they're printing out, pay them in the worthless money that they gave you and that they told you was worth something. That's usually the best course of action. Yeah, this is complete nonsense. And if you get a chance, Google it. There are other places, other countries, other cities, other states who already accept crypto at the municipal level. They do it for court fees. They do it for oh gosh, what's the other thing? Basically anything that you don't want to do. This is what they're accepting in crypto. So the real news would have been if they allowed things, if you have that many residents who receive payments in crypto, and you can see that you have 1.1 million people who are, using crypto, buying crypto, storing crypto, staking crypto, allow them to make payments in stores with them. It always comes down to taxes. It always comes down to a way that money can flow to the countries and the local government themselves. They're always looking for a way for you to get rid of your cryptocurrencies and give it to them. All the freaking time. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.